Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and welcome to your Raw review. Well, if you didn't already know, this is the last Raw before Money in the Bank, and wouldn't you know, it's not good. Hey, hey, hey. Is anybody really surprised here? Is anybody like, oh man, I thought it was gonna be good? I mean, at this point, we kind of just know when a show is gonna, be bad, and it's usually gonna be the show right before the pay-per-view, and it's so odd. It's like, how can we make this show as cringeworthy as possible? It's the show right before the pay-per-view, so it's like, how could this possibly be worse than the Raws before? But somehow they make it possible. We start off with a segment that they recycled from 2 years ago. And we all remember this segment, or, I remember it at least, but, everyone's sitting on top of the ladder. 4 of the Raw guys that are going to be in the Money in the Bank match, and 4 of the women are out there. And they're all doing this, a style that's really been pretty prevalent the last couple of years. This overacting where they're bickering, almost like they're in some cheap fucking, comedy, sitcom that they would put nowadays, like something that'd be canceled after one season on, well, I don't know, a Fox maybe, So I don't know if they were I know that SmackDown is the one going to Fox, but it doesn't matter. It's Raw, it's SmackDown, they're interchangeable. Who the fuck cares? They might want to get Raw on Fox eventually. But they're bickering all like, Fox comedy sitcom style here. Alexa Bliss is screaming at the top of her lungs. Ember Moon is trying to sound cool. For people that said, Brad, don't worry about it. The Braun Strowman Alexa Bliss thing happened in a separate, mixed challenge universe, whatever the fuck that thing was called. The mixed match challenge. There you go. Alexa Bliss acknowledges mixed match challenge. She smiles all flirtatiously at Braun, and Braun smiles back. Why? I mean, why? Why are you destroying the best thing that you came up with in years in Braun Strowman? The guy's over. He's got a look. He's able to handle himself in the ring. He's the total package, or at least as best as you can get at the moment in this really horrible period in wrestling. I don't get it. Why would you do this to him? And then Sasha's getting all flirtatious with Finn. I mean, how could this segment get any worse? I mean, how could this product get any worse by putting out a segment like this? This was horrible. This was so fucking bad. They're all talking over one another. Alexa Bliss makes a comment. You're all sounding like the, like the housewives. I mean, my God. Exactly. I mean, you're writing it into the fucking promo. And that's for damn sure. This sounds like a cheap-ass comedy. This has got to be one of the worst things I've heard in such a long time. This promo was dreadful to listen to. Anyway, Natalya beats Ember Moon, Alexa Bliss, and Sasha Banks in the Fatal 4-Way match because, everyone's got to be involved in the match. Let's make as many matches as possible so we get sick of the competitors that are going to be in the match. In the 4-hour pay-per-view that's going to be on Sunday. 4 freaking hours! So let's have them wrestle each other, in interchangeable matches and Fatal 4-Way, pretty much give half of the match away, on Raw. There's nothing basically, look forward to. Look forward to. Look forward to, right? Nothing to look forward to at the pay-per-view at Money in the Bank. So Natalya wins here. It's like they don't know who they want to put over here. Alexa Bliss, she lost the title. She's like in flux. They don't know what to do with her. Sasha Banks, she gets the first win that she's had in months. She's not going over. Moon, they just brought her in. They're going to do it. No. Natalya. Natalya isn't going anywhere. They've already forgotten, the whole Ronda Rousey thing. They started that out. They went away from it like for about a month. They returned to it last week. Now I guess they're away from it again. No consistency whatsoever. Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler said in the past that they're here to take over the WWE. So that means the entire WWE, right? Now they're just going to settle for the tag division. Taking over the WWE was too tall of a task. So now we're going to set our sights a bit lower. We're going to go for the tag division instead. The WWE, too big, too tall of a task. Time to, kind of just improvise there. Go down a level, and just go for the tag division instead. They didn't even have them win the Battle Royal. They gave it to the B team. I know, I understand what they're going for. And I hope at Money in the Bank they are planning to do at least some type of comedy with Matt Hardy and Bray against the B team. I hope they've got something special planned. Since you've got 2 goofball characters, I will say Axel and Bo have a certain level of entertainment value. So I understand why they might want to do that match first. But Ziggler and Drew, man, you look at these guys and they look like, yes, they could take over the WWE, especially Drew McIntyre. But the fact, now they're just going to have, they've already said it, they're just going to have wrestling matches against every tag team until they get their shot. So, there's like maybe 2 or 3 teams, so that really shouldn't take that long. I mean, and eventually, even if they win the tag belts, really, these guys, do they need to be in a tag team? Are you telling me these guys aren't already established? Ziggler's already won the world title a few times already. Already been a multi-time IC champ. Drew McIntyre's been there as well. He's already rebuilt himself. He's got a brand new physique and everything. Worked hard to get back, to really get noticed. And you're telling me they're going to settle on a fucking tag match? Roman Reigns defeated Sunil Singh. Jinder made like it was going to be the Great Khali. Instead, it was Sunil Singh. I mean, that would have been too much of a surprise if it was really the Great Khali. Imagine if it was the Great Khali. At least you could say on Raw, well, it was a horrible show, but at least the Great Khali showed up. And it was cool to see Roman Reigns, go against Khali. That probably would have been a nice little match to have there that we weren't expecting to see. But no, we're just gonna settle for the underling going against. I mean, we all know what's gonna happen at the pay-per-view. It's gonna be Roman versus Jinder. We're having a match we already know the results to ahead of time. I mean, really. You know, they're going to have Jinder job out again. You look at Jinder Mahal, and can you believe, for all the people that always say, oh, McMahon likes his muscles. Oh, McMahon. I mean, if that was true at this point in time, don't you think that Jinder Mahal's world title reign wouldn't have ended to AJ Styles? No, he doesn't care about who has muscles anymore, because if that was all that mattered to Vince, I think as far as physiques going to WWE, I think Jinder Mahal would have everybody pretty much beat. So you see the position that Jinder's in. They keep him at the top. They keep him with the top guys, but he never wins. He never looks good, and they always make him look like a goof at the end of things. Just like at the end of his world title reign. Then we had the B team defeating Rhino and Slater, which brought out Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. And, you know, they were entertaining here, but, you know, I'd like to see more. The Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt thing has such potential. And if they would just let Jeremy Borash run wild on this, you know, they could take it to new heights, to the heights that it was in TNA. You know, we can incorporate so many different things into this tag team, but they're really just touching the tip. I mean, they're not even touching the tip of the iceberg. They're like 20 feet away from the iceberg, eyeing it with a fucking telescope. I mean, they don't even know what to do. You have such competent guys here, such two competent talents, two veterans here pretty much. You know, Matt Hardy obviously more than Bray, but Matt Hardy knows exactly what he's doing. And I probably could tell that Matt wants to do so much with this, and he's doing as much as he possibly can, the role given to him, you know, the time allotted. But there's only so much he can do. They give him 2 minutes. What is he really going to do in 2 minutes, really? You know, with a tight script and, you know, such a manufactured way of doing things. I mean, the things that we saw in TNA, you know, for that one night that we saw with the final deletion, that, you know, that's about it. That's probably as far as we're going to get for a very long time. You know, they'll probably drop the gimmick before we get to see anything that great. And it's like, why? Why do they want to play it so safe and so plain Jane when all they have to do is, it's okay if they even copy it. I mean, they've got Jeremy Borash there to give the blessing, basically. So it's not even like they're really ripping off TNA. When people are saying they were ripping off TNA, it wasn't ripping them off. Borash is there. He's in NXT. He works for WWE. So he's pretty much giving the go-ahead for it. And I don't really see what the issue is here. Why are we not doing more? Why are we not doing more with Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt? You have these guys together. You told the story, not very well, but you told the story. Why not continue it? You know, why not show the Matt Hardy house? Why not have them visiting each other's compounds? It would be interesting. You know, just to see maybe Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt getting up for breakfast. Are they living together? There's so many interesting things that you could do. And they're not doing any of them. They're doing typical wrestling promos. Standing side by side with microphones. Ridiculous. When there's so much potential to explore this alternate universe that many people are interested in. Elias, oh God, this segment right here. I am sorry, but I am going to have to go off once again on a Seth Rollins rant. If I have not ranted on this guy enough this year alone, then really, get ready, because I'm really about to lay into Seth Rollins for the performance he did here. Elias comes out, does his shtick. It's really funny that he, you know, I don't know if this was improvised or he was told to go out and say this in script, but he talks about Seth Rollins' many nicknames. And it's true. This guy has 23 different nicknames. Idaho's own, Seth freaking Rollins. You know, he's got the Burn It Down moniker. You've got, what's the thing oh, Red Hot Rollins. Of course, my absolute favorite right there. Red Hot Rollins. The Kingslayer. The Architect. I mean, what other names does this guy have? I mean, honestly, I don't know how many more nicknames you can. And the guy doesn't even have a character. He's already gone on record saying, I don't need a character. My character is that I'm a good wrestler. Well, what a character right there, right? He's a, you know, it's really funny. It really is. It's like if Harrison Ford walked onto the set of Star Wars back in the day, and he's like, I don't need a character. My character is that I'm a good actor. No need to call me Han Solo. I'm just a good actor. No need for a character. I don't need the Han Solo character. I'm just going to be Harrison Ford. I'm going to be myself. That's what I'm going to be. I mean, it's like Jack Nicholson walks onto the set of The Shining. I don't need to be a crazed lunatic that's driven crazy by the hotel. No, I'm just going to be Jack Nicholson. I'm just going to be a good actor. I'm going to be myself. What is wrong with him? I mean, honestly, you know, anyone who's gotten seriously over in the wrestling business has had a character of some sort, in some way, some form or fashion. You could say that, okay, people like maybe Chris Benoit didn't have a character, but he did show personality when the time was right. And he had certain things like, you know what I'm saying? Like things that made him who he was. He had the whole toothless thing going on. They improvised with him. They came up with things to make him seem more interesting. And even at that time, the ratings were already going downhill. But when the ratings were way up here, basically everybody had a character of some sort. Nobody was just a good wrestler. The Undertaker wasn't just a good wrestler. Kane wasn't just a good wrestler. Stone Cold wasn't just a good wrestler. Hulk Hogan wasn't just a good wrestler. The Macho Man wasn't just a good wrestler. The Ultimate Warrior sure as hell wasn't just a good wrestler. I mean, you know, do I need to go on? So Seth Rollins comes in the ring. He chases Elias out. He stomps on his guitar. He goes, dude, man, what? I mean, you're real good, man. You're real good, dude. How dislikable can one person be? I mean, honestly, every single time they give this guy the microphone, it's like all bets are off. It's like just how unbearably horrible can this guy get on the mic? I mean, really, he's so damn annoying. And he's like, they're making him try to be so cool by saying dude and man, which were like words that made you cool if this was like, you know, some type of, you know, edgy movie in the 80s or something. Dude, man. I mean, no. Seth Rollins is not cool. Seth Rollins, to me, is a big-time overactor. He's bland Bobby, and he's just... I mean, I don't know what to say about this guy anymore. There's no redeemable factors about him. You've got this guy here, Seth Rollins, who's not only dangerous in the ring, but he comes off on the mic like a total goofball. They're not pulling back the reins on him. They're not, I mean, they're making this guy like he's the top guy. For all the people that say that Roman Reigns is Vince McMahon's guy, I mean, really? Is he? Because to me, it looks like Seth Rollins is the one winning all his matches. Seth Rollins is getting more time out there than Roman Reigns. I would say, if anything, they're grooming Seth Rollins to be the next big star. And this is going to, I'm sorry, going to burn down quite quickly. Because there's nothing behind a Seth Rollins that could get him to the level of being the next big superstar. I mean, this is kind of like they want to do this for the marks. They want to make the good wrestler be the top guy. I'm sorry, but it's just not going to happen. And they're going to lose a lot of viewers. They really are. I mean, I don't know why they're doing this, especially since Roman Reigns is the top merch seller. Why they would go with Seth Rollins. Why they want to make him the absolute top guy. There's nothing top about Seth Rollins. It's all bargain bin. You know, it really is. I mean, every single time the guy comes out there, it's one lame promo after another. He makes a fool out of himself on the mic. And this was just another example of that. I mean, you know, you guys are on fire tonight. I mean, it's that nasally voice. It's everything. Everything about Rollins. He ended Sting's career, for God's sakes. Are we forgetting about that? Wake up and smell the coffee. Wake up and smell the Seth Rollins' garbage coffee. No offense to Rollins. He's a, you know, I want to say he's a competent worker, but he did end Sting's career, so I can't even say that. He could have ended Finn Balor's career as well, and he probably could have, you know, just destroyed John Cena's whole sinuses, you know, in his face. You know, I mean, the guy is careless. He really is. He's careless on the mic. I don't know if this thing is so scripted or if he's it sounds like it might be improvised. It sounds really bad. So he's a dangerous worker. He's not good at promos. He's got an annoying voice. He doesn't look like he could be a top guy. So I don't get it. I don't get Seth Rollins. I'm sorry. I'm sure many people are going to say I'm an idiot. Seth Rollins is great. I understand that, but he's not great. He's bad, okay? He's really, really bad. Ruby Riott defeated Bayley, and I like what they did here. They beat Bayley up at the end. Ruby Riott took out makeup, you know, and she wrote all over her, kind of like NWO style, and then they just like beat her up and left her laying. Why can't we see more of that? This is what we should have been seeing from day one. If they're called the Riott Squad, they should have been doing this since day one. Do run-ins, beat the crap out of everybody, leave them laying. And, you know, that little makeup thing, that kind of fits into, like, Ruby Riott's character. She's not that pretty. So, you know, maybe it was kind of like, you know, Luna Vachon. She wanted to ruin Sable because, you know, she was the pretty one and she was, you know, the unattractive one. So it made sense, you know, why she would go. So the same thing can be said here. They could definitely take advantage of this, but I got a feeling that this is probably the only time we're going to see something like this, because whenever they strike even a hint of gold, they got to go back to doing a dud again. But I like this. I thought that this was pretty well conceived. I'd like to see more of this out of Ruby Riott. And by the way, from everybody saying Ruby Riott, the Ruby Riott sucks video I did, that I'm a horrible person, and that I only want to see blonde bimbos and stuff, I didn't say that. All I said is that, you know, Ruby Riott, they're just like, they picked like an unattractive girl, and they're not really doing anything with her. And people compared her to Luna Vachon. You totally missed the point of the video. Luna Vachon, they played off the fact that she wasn't pretty. They, you know, that's why they put her with Bam Bam Bigelow. They put her with Goldust. They made her like the weird girl. They you know, they made it the fact that that's why she was going after Sable, because she wasn't the pretty one. But Ruby Riott, they're not trying to sell that at all. They have Ruby Riott putting on makeup and stuff, and they're trying to doll her up and make her look as best as she possibly can. And it's simply not working. So this was not about me, you know, body shaming Ruby Riott or saying that she's not pretty. I'm just saying it's weird that they would pick a girl who's unattractive, amongst a field of girls that are attractive and not be playing off of that. Like, why are they giving us this girl and she's supposed to be just like all the others? So what they did tonight kind of was the first step. She's been there for like 5 months already, but this is the first time they ever did anything remotely resembling a sort of gimmick of any kind. Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax, they had their little in-ring little conference, and does it really need to be said that the promos were awful? I mean, and also the same thing again. They do the thing with Ronda Rousey. They're burying her. They're saying, they're not, they have coach say, oh, you only had one match. Do you really deserve this? You're the ones who booked her in the match, geniuses. So now you're going to run her down and say, oh, she's not ready and everything like that. And she'll probably win on Sunday. But the thing is, it's like, why are you putting her in this match just so you can say, oh, she probably won't win. She's not ready and all this. So why even say all of that? I don't get it. Don't you want to build her up as much as you possibly can so when she wins it, she feels like a winner? So that when she goes there on Sunday, everybody's like, oh, well, she won it, but, she really didn't deserve it because, she didn't go through enough people. I mean, why can't they just make Ronda a badass? Why is she sitting there smiling? I mean, I don't understand it. They're having Ronda sit there like all cute and everything, putting on the cutesy face and everything. And again, also Nia Jax. She's supposed to be the monster. She's supposed to be imposing. They're dialing her up. They're putting her in full makeup. They dyed her hair. She's blonder than what she was before. I mean, I don't get it. Everyone, for all the people that said this is not the age of being a beauty queen, they sure go out of their way to make sure that every girl looks good. Even Ruby Riott to a degree. This is what I'm saying. So if it ain't all about looking good and everything, like seriously, why is every girl still showing off their body? Why is every girl still putting on all this makeup before the match, getting their hair done, doing different hairstyles to try to look as attractive as possible? Because it's a bunch of BS. This isn't about having respect for women. No, it's not about that at all. They're putting the girls out there. They're doing both. They're attractive girls that could wrestle. They're selling the wrestling idea. But it is really, I don't care what anybody says. Any, goody two-shoes on here that says, oh, well, you girls are just, you're looking at the girls. You're not, you're saying, oh, I respect them for the right. You're trying to sound good. You're trying to sound, nice for all the YWC goofballs out there. Oh, look what a great person I am. I could get past the fact that they're females and concentrate on their wrestling ability. BS there, pal. You're looking at the girls and you can't wait until they bend over in the match. That is all you're worried about. You're worried about how you look on the internet. But we all know what's going on up here, and we all know that is a little performance you're putting on for all your friends here in the YWC. So Rousey ends up putting the armbar on Jax. That was a good way to go about things. At least they had a little bit of a scuffle. It ended pretty well. No Way Jose defeated Kurt Hawkins. Hawkins was posing as one of the Congo line members. He rolled up Jose, but Jose ended up, getting a punch on him, and he ended up beating him anyway. This is an interesting idea. I wish that they could have done this instead of just having him come out there and magically say he's lost 200 matches. I mean, I guess they're counting house shows. They would have to be. Because he definitely didn't make 200 appearances. There hasn't even been 200 days between the end of 2016 till now. So, you know what I'm saying? He debuted, I think, at the end of 2016. It's 2018. There hasn't even been 200 shows. I mean, not 200 days, but there hasn't been 200 shows for him to even between Raw and SmackDown, for him even to be able to make that claim. So what they could have done is they really should have just had, they should have had him do this, like do sneak attacks on the wrestlers, because that was pretty entertaining for what it was. But now that they're doing it so much later after they've already done this, this losing streak gimmick, it doesn't really carry the same weight. But you know, it is what it is, and it was entertaining for what it was, I suppose. Sami Zayn challenges Bobby Lashley to an obstacle course. This could have been done a lot better. You know, it was a bit lame. It was cool seeing Lashley run the obstacle course. He really went through it super fast, and it was pretty impressive. So I can't really knock it too hard. It was like, yeah, it's a little bit like corny, but you know, it was better than a lot of the other. It was definitely better than the opening segment. That's for damn sure. And then, of course, Sami Zayn attacks him from behind, and I'm just like, how is Sami Zayn beating this guy up? I don't know. And then in the main event, you know, let's not even have Money in the Bank, because we're already going to do ladder spots. Strowman defeats Owens, Balor, and Bobby Roode in the main event. He gets the power slam onto, I think it was Kevin Owens on the ladder, and it gets the pin at the end. Owens did a frog splash off the top of the ladder onto the announcer's table, onto Braun Strowman, and I'm just like, we're already giving this stuff away on free TV. Well, free TV, I mean, it's the network, whatever. I'm just saying, it's like they're already going to kill themselves on Raw. They're going to do all this stuff on the pay-per-view and risk their careers, and they're going to have them go out there. I mean, there's no allure. They have all the guys from Raw already wrestling each other. All the girls on Raw already wrestling each other. I mean, there's nothing left to the imagination. It's like we already saw 50% of the match. I don't understand why they do this. It's like to build up for the Elimination Chamber, they had to do this whole gauntlet match, and just, you know, everybody already wrestled each other. So then when they get to the Elimination Chamber, just like they're going to get to the Money in the Bank, we've already exhausted most of the possibilities already. They're already doing spots with the ladder. It's like, okay, we already saw one big spot. So now we're going to just see another person jumping off the ladder, and we just saw somebody doing it. This is why nothing means a damn anymore. These people kill themselves in the ring, and there's nothing to it. It's like when somebody goes through the barricade. They do it every month. Someone goes through the barricade. You know, how many times have they done the spot where there's a spear or some type of tackle or a shoulder block through the barricade? It happens almost every month, maybe every 2 months, possibly every 3. But we see it so many times per year that the spot doesn't even hold any value anymore. So there you go, guys. There's your Raw review. I mean, that opening segment right there. That Seth Rollins promo. I don't know what you guys want me to say. I've already said everything I possibly could. They were all horrible segments. Especially the first segment. I mean, that bickering, I was like, my God. How is anybody really supposed to sit there and listen to that and say that they enjoyed it? Is anybody really I did not enjoy that at all. That right there for me was torture. Well, there you go, guys. I'll see you for the SmackDown review. This has been your YWC champ, and I'm signing out.